Hello everyone, my name is Daryl. I work as a software developer, and in this video you'll see how I naturally work through a LeetCode challenge. This is a problem that I'm seeing for the first time, and I'll explain myself as I work through it. My solution won't likely be the best or most efficient. It'll be the one that I kind of come up with first as I'm working through the problem. Alright, so this one is listed as an easy problem. It's number 66 on LeetCode plus 1. I mean, just based on that description, it sounds really easy, but let's see what we got here. You are given a large integer represented as an integer array digits, where each value is the ith digit of the integer. The digits are ordered from most significant to least significant in left to right order. The large integer does not contain any leading zeros. Increment the large integer by 1 and return the resulting array of digits. So in this one, we have 1, 2, 3. So from what my understanding is, that represents 123. The output is 1, 2, 4. And obviously that's just adding 1. So yeah, it represents 123. That makes it 124. And then that's the result. So 4321 becomes 4322. And digits 9, we have 1 and 0, and that becomes, let me see, digits 9. Yeah, so it becomes 1 and 0. So obviously, with most of these cases, it's pretty trivial. In most of the cases, you're just going to end up adding 1 to the last digit. This represents the harder part of the problem, where you may need to return an int array of a bigger size. So the length of digits is going to be between 1 and 100. And each value is going to be between 0 and 9, and it does not contain any leading zeros. All right, so let's go ahead and copy this over. Once again, they're giving us digits, and it's an int array, and we're returning an int array. So let me think about this real quick. So obviously, if we recognize that the last character is less than a 9, just add 1 and then return it. That's extraordinarily simple. If the last digit is a 9, then we have two possibilities of what we need to do. If the last digit is a 9, but there are previous values, then we set the 9 to a 0. Well, actually, in either case, we're going to set the 9 to a 0. But if there's previous values, then we just need to increment the previous value by 1 and set this one, the last value, to 0. If there are no previous values, like in this example they have here, there's nothing before the 9, then we need to add a value before it in the int array that we're going to return. Of course, you can't actually just add a value to an int array, but we're going to create an int array that's of size 1 bigger. So let's go ahead and start working through this. So let's do that easy case first. So if digits dot last, well, in either case, I think we're going to need to, well, we can create a new int array. We're fine. Let's actually try working with my favorite collection, which is array lists, just because it makes things easy to work with. So if digits.last is less than a 9, then let's say results, this is what we're going to actually end up returning. First, we'll make it equal to digits.to, and we say to list. I guess list would be easier to work with. Okay, fine. Then results.last, you can set that equal to something. Let's set results.size minus 1. We're going to set that equal to results.last plus 1. Okay, made it a mutable list so we can change it. That's fine. And then return result. And I guess you can make this a val, that's fine. Results dot to int array. And this I'm just going to return because I want to just test to make sure that works real quick. So we'll do one of these super simple examples. I will say val, that'll be equal to that, and to int array, let's just say oops. Sorry, it's actually int array of. Then we will print, well, I guess in this case, we'll want to see what the result is. So we'll just do a debug, that'll make it easier. So we'll just run the solution dot +1 on digits. And I just want to see, in this case it should go in there, and the result should be 124. Perfect. So now that that simple example is working, we need to move on to the other types of examples here. So let's try the other case. Well, we're going to say, well, we know in this case that the last digit is a 9 if it even got here. So then we can just say if digits.size is greater than 1. Because if the size is greater than 1, we know we can just add 1 to the previous. So then we're going to do something very similar to what we did before. We'll create results in here. But this time we're going to set the last one to 0 and 2 from the last, well, the one previous, 2. We're going to need to access it. Well, let's just do plus equals 1. In fact, we should be able to just change this to plus equals 1. Let's just really quickly double check that that doesn't cause any issues. Yeah, okay. And then same thing here. So now we'll make an example where this is 9. So of course we want this to return 130. Yep, 130. Now, of course, one thing we need to think about that they don't actually show in their examples is the standard thing where what if that previous value is a 9? All right, so keeping that in mind, I'm actually going to completely change how we do this. So I'm going to get rid of all of this, just do this. This is going to go ahead and just do that straight up. We're just going to add 1 to the last value. All right. Now though, while result contains a 10. So it's either just going to add 1 or while the result still contains a 10, we're going to need to do the manual carrying in addition. So let's first get, I mean, there actually can't be multiple 10s in this case, but the loop would find it anyways. So let's first find the index of where the 10 is. 10 index is going to be equal to result.index of 10. So now that we have that index, we want to say result of 10 index is equal to 0. So we know we definitely want to do that no matter what. But now, if ten index is not equal to 0, which should happen most of the time, so this is not the first index, then we can simply set result 10 index minus 1. Let's use the right brackets. equal to, just do plus equals 1. Else, we just want to do result dot add at index 0, we'll add a 1. And then it'll keep doing that until there's no more 10s. And then we just return that. So let's try that with, 123. See what that shows. So that gives us 124. Okay. Let's try that with 124. Or I should have said 129. That gives us 130. And then let's try that with 199. 200. And then let's try it with 99. 100. Okay, so I think we're all working here. Copy that into here, run code. Sorry, run code. So that worked. Let's do submit. All right, that one worked. And it's a pretty good answer too. And low percentages on both the runtime and the memory usage. So I'm pretty happy about that. So I think this is a pretty good solution to this problem. So let's go over the code real quick. So first, we're given our int array of digits. And I convert that to a list and then to a mutable list just to make it easier to work with, since you can't really work really easily with int arrays. And then we're going to go ahead and just take the last value in that array and add 1 to it. Then we need to find if there are any 10s. There's only going to be one 10 in this case. But we're going to keep looping until there are no 10s left, in case there's multiple carries that need to happen. First, we're going to find which index has the 10 in it. Then we're going to set that value to 0. And then we're going to say, hey, is this the start of the list? If it's not the start of the list, we can just take the previous value and add 1 to it. If it is the start of the list, then we need to add a 1 at element 0, which is going to be the first value in that mutable list. Then we're simply going to cast it back to an int array and return that value. All right, so that's it for this one. I hope that helps you guys out. We'll catch you guys next time. Thanks for watching.